Hello everybody, welcome back to Learning CAD Unit 3 Part C, the final part in Unit 3. Today we're going to be talking about Shell and the Hole Wizard, two kind of miscellaneous tools that will be pretty helpful. So shell, what is a shell? A shell is basically a tool you can use to hollow out a shape. Whatever solid body you select, it will try to hollow that out, and then you'll select a face if you want to keep that face open, right? So what I mean by open, just to clarify, is see in this top right hand corner how we went from the solid block to this hollow shape. This front face that's kind of facing us, that's the open face. So which face do you want to have no material at all is basically what that's talking about. Now let's just demonstrate it. So I'm in my part, as usual, blank part. Let's just make a block. You guys know how to do this by now, you guys are pros. You can, keep it a block. I was going to say make any shape, but then I thought about that, and I don't think that's right. So make a block. Let's extrude it, as we do. Yeah, that works. Cool. Okay, so now we have our block. The shell tool is in the Features tab in the middle, right here. So see, we got two parameters. We got the thickness and then which faces we want to leave open. So let's click this face, or whatever face you fancy. And then let's show preview just so we can see what's going on. So we can see this is how it's getting hollowed out. And you can kind of play around with how this number looks. So if I make it bigger, the wall thickness gets bigger, obviously. And now we have this little box. So this is obviously pretty useful in a lot of cases if you want to make some kind of casing or a box, right? This might be an easy way to do it. There's also some other options, as you might have seen, with like you can change the thickness at certain parts so it's not all uniform, but I've never actually used that, so I think this is all you need to know about the shell tool. Okay, now the next thing and the most important thing about this video, the hole wizard. So before we're going to look at the hole wizard, we actually need to kind of take this detour, this break, to learn another really important feature, and that's called 3D sketches. So far, right, when we say sketch, we've always meant 2D, right? It's on a plane, I'm sketching in 2D, that's what we've always said. But it turns out in SolidWorks there's a thing called a 3D sketch, and it is as chaotic as it sounds. Basically, it's the exact same as a 2D sketch, except that your stuff can go everywhere, like it can go in 3D, but it's similarly unconstrained. So my warning to you, as I've written here, is just to be careful, because 3D sketches can be confusing sometimes, because in 3D, right, stuff isn't always how it looks. Okay, to do a 3D sketch, you go to the Sketch tab, and then right under where it says Sketch, there's a drop-down button, 3D Sketch. Wonderful. So you can see we have some of the options available, not all the normal sketching options, but let's say I just try to make a center rectangle on the origin. It actually goes like this. So if you just have this diamond shape, right, it's not a shape in 2D, it's a shape that's like a rectangle in 3D out of plane. Then you can also do stuff like maybe like this. And it's not important to follow along, guys, I'm just trying to demonstrate this. Alright, so now I have this like other triangle that's like totally out of plane with everything. So just be careful with 3D sketches. They can be constrained just like anything else, right? You could always, right? You can have relations, you can have constraints, but just be diligent with those constraints, because stuff can get really funky. Ooh, like whoa, that's crazy. Great example. One other thing to note about 3D sketches is exiting them is really annoying for some reason. For some reason, the only way to exit them is you have to go back to this sketch menu drop down and click 3D sketch. You can't just press sketch again, it doesn't do anything. So drop down 3D sketch will get you out of it. Okay, I'm going to delete that. Okay, so what is the hole wizard? Well, effectively the hole wizard is a tool that allows us to make holes really quickly and really precisely. So you might think, oh, it's just a hole, right? That's super easy. Well, actually, if you're making a lot of them, it can be a headache because you have to set constraints and set dimensions for all of them. And also, it can be tough to figure out what the right hole size is, right? So if you have a hole for a bolt, for example, like a 1/4-20 bolt, which is 0.25 inches in diameter, it's actually not just as easy as making a hole that's 0.25 inches in diameter. Because if you do that, most likely the bolt will just not fit through. So what we do is we apply tolerances, or we give it a clearance, right? And the hole wizard will kind of help you with these things without you having to think about it so much. It'll say, okay, we can say, give me a 1/4-20 hole with a loose clearance, and it'll give a really loose fit on the bolt. And I'll demonstrate that now. Okay, so we have a block. We're going to go to the Features tab, and we are going to find Hole Wizard. Hole Wizard, obviously. Right here, kind of middle left. Hole Wizard. Now we got 2 tabs under this hole specification menu. We got Type and Position. Let's start with Type. So Type is really awesome. It allows you to kind of make all these different kinds of holes. You can also choose, right, between all these different international standards. Right, we're going to use ANSI inch. And then here's what I was talking about, right? Quarter inch bolt size, and we can do close fit, normal fit, or loose fit. So this is super useful. We can also set the end condition. So is it like, do we want it to just go blindly a certain distance down or through everything? We'll just have it go through everything for now. So now once we have our hole where we're good with the way that it is, like the kind of hole that it is, let's go to position. So there's kind of 2 cases here. There's one case where all the holes you want to make are on one face. Let's do that one first. If that's the case, we're going to follow the instructions in the top and say select the face for hole or slot position. So we're just going to click this top face. Now we're just in a normal old 2D sketch, and wherever we put a point, see how it's automatically selected the point tool for us? Wherever we put a point, it's going to pop down a hole. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So normally in a design, right, this could be super useful because you might already have some kind of structure set up, and you can just place the holes right down over an existing geometry. Say once we're good with these holes, press the check, and now we have these beautifully countersunk, perfectly dimensioned holes. And the beauty of Hole Wizard is this. Say someone says, "Oh no, Cam, we just ran out of 1/4-20 bolts. They're sold out. We can't ever get any more of them. We need to use a different size." The beauty of Hole Wizard is I don't have to go and type in a bunch of dimensions differently, or I don't have to go Google different dimensions of a bolt. I just say, okay, let's go to number 10 bolts then. Keep the close fit, keep everything, keep the countersink. Let's just change the bolt size. Easy. And it's all holes have adjusted. That's what's beautiful about this. That's why we don't want to use cut extrude for holes, which you could do. All right, you could use extruded cut. But the reason is because Hole Wizard is so interchangeable, it's so convenient. So that was the first case. Now let's talk a second case. I'm going to delete this feature. The second case is where all your holes that you want to make are identical, right? But they're not on the same plane. Like say you have holes on every side of this cube or something like that. Let's demonstrate how we would accomplish that. I'm going to go to Hole Wizard in the same spot, Feature tab. Type, we'll kind of leave for now, not important. In positions, we're going to kind of follow the second sentence. To create holes on multiple faces, click 3D Sketch. So we're going to click that 3D Sketch button. And again, we're in this kind of 3D Sketch menu where not all the options are available, but it's also still selected point for us. Same kind of deal. Wherever we put that point down, it's going to put a hole. Boom, 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 boom. So now we have all these holes on different faces. And this hole is just the back side of that hole, I think. So don't worry about that. This is all right. All right, so now we could change by changing this Hole Wizard type option. All right, if we go into Edit Feature, we change this to like 5/16 screws now, or bolts. That's it for this one, guys. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next one.